Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA video, we're going to be talking about some serious GTA 6 leaks that have all been compiled by an insider that has given us some info in the past and now has put together their own video about everything they know so far. And this is Tom Henderson. And for those of you guys who don't know, Tom Henderson is an insider in the video game community. He has successfully leaked information about other video games coming from big-time studios like EA, Ubisoft. Think games like Battlefield, huge titles. And in the past, he's even come out with his own GTA 6 bits of info from a source that he says is reputable and trust. And we've seen things from him like it's going to be in a modern setting, and that a lot of the things we've seen so far on the internet are all smoke and mirrors, that we're going to be seeing our first female protagonist, and more. So that information, again, is coming out from Tom Henderson, which we've covered in the past. And the other day, he ended up putting out this tweet on his page. It said, GTA 6 video tomorrow, ? And then he followed up with saying, I should have probably said, shall I upload a GTA 6 video tomorrow? People are so thirsty for this game. And some people ended up thinking that he would have like actual footage or something like that. But it turns out it's just him talking about really everything he knows so far regarding GTA 6. And the entire video is around 11 minutes long. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to take a listen to it for yourself. It's called GTA 6 Release Date, Vice City, Modern Setting, and More. Grand Theft Auto 6 Leaks and Rumors. And he says, in this video, I cover everything I've heard about GTA 6 in the past couple of years. Of course, I'm not known for GTA 6 news, so take this information with a grain of salt. So Tom does a really good job of breaking things down and explaining everything in his video. Again, I do recommend you check it out for yourself, but I'm going to try and summarize and also give my thoughts as well. The first thing he starts with is that it's going to be set in a modern time. And this is the debate that has gone back and forth between various posts and leaks that you've seen. Some people are saying it's going to be in Vice City, but back in the 80s. Other people are saying it's going to be modern-day Vice City. And according to this video, it's going to take place in modern times. And he says the reason for that is for the online mode. And that should not be shocking, because imagine if Rockstar tried to do GTA 6's multiplayer, but you were back in the 80s. Well, you wouldn't have cell phones or computers for that matter. You would be limited in terms of cars that you could acquire. There would be less opportunity because there's fewer industries and technologies that have, obviously been now created because of modern times. So it's not shocking that it's going to be in the modern day, and a big part of that is for online. Now, this is my own speculation here. I bet that there's almost more of like that North Yankton thing that we saw in GTA 5 where you like stay in the past for a bit longer instead of just for like one mission, the very beginning. But that is not surprising that a modern time setting for the online mode looks to be how things are going to progress. Now, after that, he says there is going to be multiple characters, and one of them is a female hacker, although he doesn't know any of the names. Now, this is not shocking either, because the names of the characters in Grand Theft Auto 5 were totally changed by the time the game finally came out. When the casting call was announced, all the names were different. Like Michael DeSanta's name was Albert De Silva instead of Michael DeSanta. So the names are going to change up a little bit naturally. But if there are multiple characters, it makes you wonder how it's going to work. Is it going to be Red Dead Redemption 2 multiple characters where you play as one and then you transition to another? Or is it going to be like GTA 5 multiple characters where you have the option to bounce around between a few of them as the game goes on? So that will be interesting to see. The fact that one of them is a female hacker, to me, that very much sounds like Watch Dogs. So that is a little bit suspicious for me. That just seems a little bit strange. I mean, I guess a female hacker could be awesome and badass and whatever, but it just seems like that. It sounds like Watch Dogs to me. So I don't know. You guys can let me know how you feel about that one in those comments down below and how many characters there will end up being. The next is the release date, and this was his guess. He says it's going to be released in 2024 or 2025, and quite frankly, that makes sense. So I do not expect GTA 6 to be announced in 2021. There's too much going on. We've got Red Dead Online update, GTA Online updates, expanded and enhanced version of GTA 5, standalone Grand Theft Auto Online in November. that doesn't leave a lot of time for Rockstar to make that announcement. I think it's going to happen in the year 2022, and we know that Rockstar usually takes about 1.5 to 2 years to release a title, with a couple of delays built in there. So that really does bring us to 2024, and if there's any delays or whatsoever, 2025. And I know that seems like a really long time away, but that's kind of Rockstar's pattern there, especially given how they released GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. So unfortunately, that is not surprising. And you add this little thing called the pandemic in there, that probably slowed Rockstar down a little bit as well. Now, the next thing he talks about is Grand Theft Auto 6's multiplayer or online mode. He says it's going to change over time, and it's going to be similar to Fortnite seasons with live events. Now, I don't play Fortnite, but I can tell you how their seasons work. There's changes to the map. There's new characters. There's new events that occur. And these live events have been rumors that we have heard how Grand Theft Auto 6 is actually going to be announced inside GTA 5. Now, I'm not sure if Rockstar is capable of doing that in current Grand Theft Auto Online, but that would be super fun to see in GTA 6's multiplayer. Live events that everyone gets hyped about. It's kind of like premieres on YouTube, or even in real life when a store does like a pop-up event or a one-time release or something like that. Because it's happening live, and if you're not there, you're going to miss it, it does build up a lot of hype. So that'll be exciting to see, and I think that's a nice way to go about improving the online mode, having it change over time and be a little bit more dynamic. So this next point was interesting. Apparently the game is going to return to Vice City, and this has been the big rumor that we have seen so far. Everyone seems to believe that the game is going back to Vice City, and I think that would obviously be fantastic. We haven't seen Vice City in the HD era, so it'd be so cool to see what Rockstar could do with the world and the map. And speaking of the map, the thing he says next is the map is not going to be as big as we should expect it. I'm not sure what he's referring to here, but Vice City is one of the smaller maps that Rockstar have created. Now, you also kind of have to realize that Vice City was created in the PS2 era, so maybe Rockstar couldn't make the map big on purpose, but maybe it's going to be smaller than what we expect, because it's going to be smaller than GTA 5 or smaller than Red Dead Redemption 2. And I'm okay with that, honestly, because if you look at the GTA 5 map, a lot of the world is totally unused. Like, for example, how many times are you guys just wandering around up in the desert or the forest? No, for the most time, you're in the city. You're where the people are, the action is, where things are going on. Now, don't get me wrong, I want tons of areas to explore, because that was one of my favorite parts of Red Dead Redemption 2, is all like the wilderness and back roady areas. But with an area like Vice City, I can imagine the map being a teeny bit smaller. Or maybe he's just thinking we're going to get this giant world that consists of like Vice City and South America, Central America. Just don't expect that. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. That's for sure. And the final thing he really says is he doesn't know how credible his source is, because he is not a GTA leaker and it could be fake. So this is the part that made me worry a little bit, because how can you trust any of this if the source is not credible? And maybe he's saying that because he doesn't know the ins and outs of GTA games as much as he knows the ins and outs of Battlefield titles and stuff that's more up his alley, and it could be fake. So as always with stuff like this, I urge you to remain cautiously optimistic, take everything with a grain of salt, and just know that because it's not officially coming from Rockstar, there's always a chance that it could end up being fake. However, this video has given us a lot of interesting things to talk about: a modern time setting, multiple characters with one of them being a female hacker, 2024 to 2025 likely release, multiplayer going to change over time with Fortnite-style live events, Vice City returning but not so big of a map, and we don't know how real this could be. So again, let me know what you guys think about this in those comments down below. I would love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.